Hey everybody, Vader Saber 1984, also known as the man without a fan, coming to you just to kind of shoot the shit. And I am going to swear in this video because I'm no longer going to be producing for kids, and I'm going to make it 18 and above. Because you know what? My fucking freedom of speech is my freedom of fucking speech. And if Facebook wants to kick me off for it, then they can suck my fucking. Well, I'll try and censor myself as best as I can. So, as I usually say, grab a smoke, grab a beer, pour yourself a shot of whiskey, and hold on to your butts. We're going to keep this kind of random, just shooting from the hip. You know, I had a conversation with a coworker of mine today, and she's a little older than me, not much, but we got on the subject of transgender and on uh, biker groups and motorcycle clubs and this and that and the other. And on the transgender area, she was like, this story of her getting into a fight with a woman or claimed to be a woman was actually a tranny, as we called it in my day, but got into a fight and beat her, broke her nose, did like bad, like beat her black and blue, dressed as a woman, acting as a woman, but beat her like a redheaded stepchild. I mean, as a man, serious beating she took from this guy. And I replied to the comment. I said, you know, people nowadays can choose what they want to be. If you want to be a fish, you can classify as a fish. Or if you want to be a guy who goes out on the weekends and dresses as one thing, uh, and likes, you know, partners of both sexes, then you can claim yourself to be that too. So nowadays, in this crazy time, you can just do whatever the hell you want. And I told her, I said, you know, that's, I guess, fine and dandy if that makes people feel better about themselves, but they're still lying to themselves. You know, it's just my belief and my opinion. I believe that opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they stink. If not always, but mostly occasionally. Uh, so you can take it with a grain of salt, or you can just take it as an opinion, disagree or agree. But hey, that's what freedom of speech is for, is to share your views and to fill people out. So I basically told her, I said, look, my take on it is somebody who feels they were born the wrong way because they have internal feelings or whatever, they can go out and Bruce Jenner and chop that winky off and become whatever they want to with enough plastic surgery, money, and beauty products, I guess. Hey, if that's what you want to be and that makes you happy, that's fine. But my view on it is those people want everybody to accept them for their decision. They want everybody to be on their side except me for who I am and what I want to be. Accept me. Well, people in the world can try their best and accept you, you know. They don't have to agree with you. But my beef with it is the fact that you did not accept yourself for what you were born as. I mean, quite frankly, when you're born and you come out your mother's womb, you are one of two things. And sometimes, occasionally, you might have both and might have to have a little surgery done, but still, you are male or female. Baby boy, baby girl. What are you having? A boy. What are you having? A girl. We have a brand new baby boy. We have a brand new baby girl. When a dog has puppies, has a litter, and somebody is selling those puppies, what do they say? We have 3 males, 2 females. Okay. Dolphins, male, female. Even though dolphins do, certain breeds of dolphins have sex with the same sex, they cannot reprocreate uh, and have continue life, but they can still have sex. I think it's some turtles, snails, and frogs of certain species are able to change their sex to continue procreation and continue their cycle. Very few species out there, but that's not us as human beings. So if you were born a male and you're not comfortable with that, you're not comfortable in your own skin, you can change it. But that doesn't give you the genetics and the hormones to, as a female, as a woman, a menstrual cycle, or the ability to create life within yourself the way that we were created. So to me, that is pretty much a sham in life. I mean, hey, I guess I don't agree with it, but for you, whoever might want to do that, you want to be a certain thing. All right, hey, go be it. But it doesn't negate the fact that you are going against what you were created at birth. In here, you can feel this, but here, it don't work. I made a video with a cigarette and I got a little bit of heat from it uh, of how it works. And, whatever. It's like I said, it's an asshole. It's an opinion. You can either agree with it, disagree with it, and accept it that it's just an opinion. It's not hurting you. And go along with your day. So, but you have people in this world who obviously are not comfortable within their own skin and cannot accept themselves for what they are naturally. You were born this. You have this. Okay. Well, I don't like that, and I'm attracted to that. Okay, cool. Fine. I don't agree with it, but I get it, you know. And even in my heterosexuality, I can be like, that's one good looking man, or that's one good looking woman. I can admit that. Doesn't mean that I am half this, half that. That's just me saying, hey, that's a pretty species in that human being. That's a pretty person, whatever you might want to call it. But to create a different name for, well, I classify as this, but I like that, and sometimes I do that, it hurts my head. They're coming up with so many names, it's ridiculous. And sometimes it just makes me want to chop people in the throat. Just, like, stop it. Stop. Just be happy with who you are. Because honestly, it I mean, oh yeah, you can adopt. You can adopt a child, or you can have a sperm donor, or you can donate eggs. Or there, modern science is a great, crazy thing. But you can't have a chicken without fertilizing an egg. So this does not make another one of these. But if this adopts that, another one of these, and tells them that, hey, you're a beautiful being and this is how we are, and we love you no matter what, that's great. You're giving a child a home and maybe a better life than they could have ever had. That's awesome. But if you tell them and you grow up or raise them and have them grow up saying that this is how you should be, you are only to be like this or like this, that's not right. That's taking away people's freedoms. I mean, you should, just like you being your whatever pronoun you want to be, you should give them that opportunity and freedom to make their own choice, and you should not push your way of life on them. And I say that as somebody who grew up in a very, very strong religious family, religious military growing up, very Southern Baptist, okay? To where those kind of things were, oh, that's a straight path to hell, da da da, and hey, it took me a long time to grow up and read and realize that what, those are guidelines, and those were written by man, and maybe some of those stories were just stories, but you can't defeat nature, okay? You can now alter it, but you cannot deny what you are. If you're buried in a desert and then 100 years later, archaeologists dig up your bones and send it to the lab and they pull out your skeleton, da 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 da, they can DNA test that you were born a male or female. They're not going to sit there and say, well, judging by these bones, he was a trans this, that, dot, dot, dot. He class doesn't work that way. Use common sense. All right. A lot of people that go that way are a little bit more far on the left side, and they're like, follow the science. Follow. Really? You want to pull that card on following the science? You're claiming to be something that you are not physically, the way you were born. You want to love another man? Love another man. You want to love another woman? Love another woman. But don't rub it in my face like I'm the bad guy because I don't agree with it or support it. There's this whole generation that's been going on, and God bless people who want more equality. Okay, I get it. You want your voices to be heard and you want to be accepted for how you are and what you believe. That's fine. That's all about the freedom of being an American. But if you lived in another country and you were like that, there are places in this world that you will be stoned to death or killed on spot because of religious views against it. So consider yourself pretty lucky to be in a country where you can do that. You can have your whole month. You can have your flag, which, God, I've talked about this and how much it annoys me. And you can have your parades, and you can have your marriages in certain states, and that's all good and dandy, but for the situation of being angry against other people who do not agree with it, like myself. I don't agree with it. All right. I get it and I can understand it, but I don't agree with it because it goes against nature. And I'm not trying to throw some biblical stuff out there. I mean, even in the text of the Holy Bible, it says if a man was born with ideas of lust of another man, then he should live alone. I'm just paraphrasing, but you know. And like I said, that book is just guidelines. We don't really know because it was written by man, but it's the common knowledge of nature. And I'm going back on this is you can't create life with two plugs. Let's just make it simple. You can't. And you can't deny the fact that what you are may be different. And if you're happy and you're a good person, God bless you. Be that person. But don't rub it in other people's faces and make it to where that your life and your livelihood and the way you live is the only way to be. It's not. I mean, honestly, they have Gay Pride Month, Gay Pride Parades, so on and so forth. But do you have straight pride, straight rallies, straight parades? No, you don't. Because people that are just like that are like, I'm just living my life. I don't have to go out there and rub it in everybody else's face that, hey, I love women. Shove it in your face. Look at me. Look at me. I'm different. I'm not like you. That's creating more hate and more separation as us being humans. I mean, just be who you are. Keep it to yourself. Honestly, it bothers me when you have TV shows that have that on there. Because if I have my nieces watching this show that is all about it, saying, hey, this is how you should be, this is what we are, blah, blah, blah. My little nieces and their fresh hard drives are downloading this. Like, hey, this is how I should be because I want to be like them on TV. Well, it's television. It's made to entertain. You can't, you have to be able to divide yourself from false reality of television from reality and also take what you see on TV and say, yeah, that's a good mindset. That's a good idea, but it's television. Okay? Now, you may have other things like actors or celebrities that are out in the open talking about this kind of thing, and you can sit there and say, "Wow, they really changed my life. They made me think a different way." Right. They made you think. So they are thinking for you. You are not thinking for yourself. So for me, having four beautiful nieces, if they grow up having feelings of like, this just isn't me, I want to this. All right, I'm still going to love you. But don't for 1 second think that I want propaganda put out on television showing and pushing my nieces or anybody else, any other youth in this world, that this is how they should be and it's cool to be this way. You should find that out on your own. You shouldn't think that you're going to be this way just because you saw it on TV. because a celebrity that you watched and you really like. I'm going to be like that. I enjoyed Sons of Anarchy. Jax Teller, one of my favorite characters. The guy was a suicidal, homicidal serial killer in that show. And all that show said was violence, death, murder, drugs. It's a TV show. But now you have people creating biker gangs, which they've been around forever, but new biker gangs trying to live off that code that they saw on television. It's TV. I mean, you can emulate whoever you want, but you have to use this and realize that hey, that's made to entertain. It's not factual. Okay? So, I am not burying, I'm not denying the fact that there is people who love each other of the same sex. That, hey, it's out there. I have beautiful friends who are gay. Um, Good friends, guys and girls. And they're great people. They are. But they know that, hey, if you push that on me, then I'm going to push back because I don't push my life on you. I don't tell you, you shouldn't be like that. This is my way's better. I don't do that. I'm like, well, I don't agree with it, but hey, as long as you're happy and as long as you don't try and fuck me or change my lifestyle, then we're cool. But the moment you start putting your flag out there, doing your Pride Month, or putting it out on television, trying to convince me that I should be another way than how I feel, then that's taking away people's freedoms. And for those people out there, televangelists or church or anybody like that that go out there and damn people for what they are or what they want to be. I'm kind of a two-sided coin on that. Like, hey, you shouldn't do that. I mean, if you do it by religious text, you can tell them, hey, this is what our belief is. Uh, or you can badmouth them like a dick and tell them that they're gonna go to hell and they're not allowed here. You can't be in here or whatever. That's wrong. Having rallies and parades and marches to be against it, you're taking away people's freedoms too. You know, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Ah, you're going to hell, sinner. That's their choice. If they want to go burn in hell by, sleeping with the same sex as your religion might say, that's their choice. We live in a country where you can do that. But in any other country, some extreme countries, they find that out, you're dead as a doornail. So my whole thing is love each other, but don't try and program other people when they have the freedom of speech, thought for themselves. Don't try and program these little hard drives of you have to be straight, you have to be gay, you can choose whatever. You can choose, but let them do it naturally. Because if not, then evolution is going to start changing and we're just going to have nothing but test tube babies out there that don't know where they came from and they don't have a history. They don't have something to hold on to from the past. So, those are just my views and opinions of the matter, and hope you enjoyed it. throw a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, whatever. But thank you for your time. And for this evening, this is Vader Saber, 1984, also known as Man Without a Fan, saying that you are an individual and that the only person who can change your life is you. Physically, emotionally, internally is you. Don't let anybody change you, from whether you see it on TV, social media, whatever. Just be you. And be safe.